Good. Hello?
Hello,
Who am I speaking to?
this is Drake Dixon.
Okay. Now that I've got you identified, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, and when the judge calls your case, we'll pull you back in, okay?
Awesome, thank you so much.
You bet.
Sit down, sit. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
able to hear me?
Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed Aminul Islam.
Islam? Okay. Now that I have you identified, I will pull you back in. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, and we'll bring you back in when the judge calls your case, okay?
Yes.
I have been in contact with your attorney also, so he should be appearing as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
No, Hajiran.
Hello?
Hello,
Who am I speaking to?
Jorge Aguilar.
Mr. Aguilar? Okay. You are going to be the first case that we call. Mr. Hinton's going to be on at 12:45, so hang in there with us till 12:45, okay?
Oh, okay. So I call again? Okay, thank you.
Hello,
Hello,
who am I speaking to?
Mark Heckle.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, and as soon as the judge calls your case, I'll pull you back in, okay?
Thank you. I've never used Zoom before, so, I didn't understand what Zoom was asking.
Okay. Hello,
Hi,
who am I speaking to?
Stephen Smith.
Steve, Smith. Okay. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, and as soon as the judge calls your case, we'll pull you back in.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Hello,
Hello,
who am I speaking to?
this is Maria Quinones.
Okay, I will put you back in the waiting room, and when the judge calls your case, I'll pull you back in, okay?
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Hello,
Yes,
who am I talking to?
this is Catherine Howe.
Okay,
I
I'm
was
gonna
on
put you
the Zoom meeting.
yep,
Sorry, I
you're,
was on the,
whoa. I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room, and when the judge calls your case, I will pull you back in, okay?
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Okay,
I'm also on Zoom, but it didn't pick up. So,
you're in a waiting room until the judge hears your case, calls your case,
Okay.
then we'll pull you in, okay?
okay, all right.
So
Thank
are you
you.
gonna be on video instead of phone?
It says that, yeah, I didn't get any notice on Zoom. It said the host will let you in soon. So I'll hang up on the phone because I prefer to do it via Zoom.
Okay, what is the title on your, are you Catherine? On
I am
the,
Catherine.
okay, all right, so I've already got you identified, and as soon as the judge calls your case, I will pull you in.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Gabe called you about that one case, right?
Yeah, we did speak. He got his notice of appearance in JIS, so I think we are all set. We will need to try and find a Bengali interpreter. There is not a AOC certified, so I'm not sure what we'll have to do with that.
Yeah. So the main issue is Gabe's an attorney in my office.
Is that a conflict?
Yeah, I don't think I can prosecute that.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe leave that up to Will and let him.
Yeah, because I don't know if Chris can or not. He has prosecuted for us in the past, but because he's our pro tem, I'm not sure if that conflicts either.
I think you've had Jeff fill in on one that I had a conflict before.
Yes, Jeff Arnold.
Yeah.
He is on as a defense, as a court appointed right now. Would that be a conflict to prosecute a different one, or is that okay?
That should be fine.
Okay, okay, perfect. Will said he might be running a few minutes late. Looks like I have all my attorneys and their clients. We got notice of appearance from Gabe and also from Robert Alt on the Tonkin case.
Okay. Tonkin, that's a DUI, isn't it?
It's physical control is what it's listed as. Will was asking about Superior Court charges. I don't see any in the system, but they are messing with the system right now, and they keep sending us notices saying all cases might not be complete. So I don't know, honestly, if he has other charges in Superior. So that might be something we need to contact the county and see if they have something filed or not. And Mr. Alt might already know too.
Yeah, I received. He emailed me his notice of appearance last night as well.
Mr. Hinton will be on at 12:45. That's when we're going to start. So we'll start with the interpreter case and then move to the other attorneys.
Okay.
and then go through the rest of the docket. I'm surprised, we got a lot of people showing up. That's awesome.
If we could try to handle the pre-trials first,
Absolutely.
because I have a family recovery court at 2:30, so
Okay.
I don't think usually we're done well before that. So they're doing it in person now, so I got to go up to Montesano.
Ew.
Yeah.
I heard they were opening, I heard Elma's opening back up too.
Yeah, right now Grace Harbor is doing it. Like their normal motion dockets
Oh.
are still on Zoom, but anything like drug court, family recovery court, like the rehabilitation courts are in person,
Okay,
and
Yes.
anything requiring testimony is in person.
okay. Yeah, the Supreme Court came down last week with new orders, and I think that was targeted as to being able to do those in person.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly did not read it that thoroughly, so
Yeah.
I knew it didn't involve me, so it went on the back burner. We need, John's gonna be here, right? John- He's usually a little late anyway, so. Mr. Aguilar is on for arraignment, so we don't need, oh, there he is. There's John. I'm gonna pull Jeff into as court appointed.
Okay.
Oh, nope. Wrong one. Mr. Meeks? Hopefully he'll get his audio worked out later.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Pete.
How's it going?
Good. If you
Good.
could apologize to Mr. Aguilar for me. Our conversation at the door was difficult at best.
Okay.
He was asking me for something and I couldn't figure out what it was. So,
Okay.
But he is logged on. So
Great.
that's a good start. He did get that
Super.
much figured out. So,
Yeah, I've
but
got
whatever
that.
it is, if I can get it to him, I would gladly get it to him.
Okay, great. Yeah, I've got that infraction loaded up, so I don't think I have any need for it, but it's here just in case. Hi, Jeff.
Gonna say I had to say hi to Mr. Hinton.
How are you?
I'm, we're missing you in Grace Harbor.
Yeah, last Tuesday, yesterday was my last day in Centralia after 33 years, 30
Oh,
years.
wow.
Yeah, 30 years in Centralia every Tuesday morning from 8 to 12. And I'm doing Zoom and phone calls, and that's it. I'm all through with in-person assignments.
Nice.
I got to spend a little more time with Sugar Booger here. So
Yeah,
we're in our 70s. It's time to have a little fun.
that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Pete.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, it feels pretty good.
I haven't had a chance to ask Darren about what you were doing, so.
Yeah. I'm just enjoying life, playing guitar, as you can tell from the tie, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, there's my reminder from my phone hearing at 1. So, okay.
We are just waiting for Will. He said he would,
No problem. And this is an arraignment, is that right, Lisa?
it is an
Okay.
arraignment.
I'll go over his rights real quick and the little thing on immigration, and we'll get that out of the way.
And
See
I
if he
mean,
wants a lawyer.
yeah, the fail to transfer title, it's pretty simple, but he
Yeah.
apparently did get it taken care of. He did get it registered. So
Great. So the
I think
other
he did
one's
what he needed to.
PWS third, right?
I've got failed to transfer within 45 days. And on the infraction, just the insurance.
Oh, so he's not charged with driving while license suspended.
Not that I'm aware of.
I plan on just moving to amend it to an infraction and dismiss the insurance, just FYI.
That would be great. What would the fine on that be, counsel?
It would be, I'd probably amend it to above, greater than 2 months, so it'd be like 231.
Okay. And then dismiss the insurance since he has, correct?
Yeah, that's my plan at least, so.
Okay, super. Yeah, in fact, Lisa, I was going to tell you that I've been training a young man for the last 6 weeks. We couldn't get him certified or registered with AOC because they stopped all of that during the pandemic. But about 3 weeks or 2 weeks ago, the judge put him on the record and swore him in and certified him for purposes of Centralia. I'm telling you, he's a natural. He just slipped right in. And if I ever can't handle anything for you, I'll give you his contact information.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Keep you guys from having to jump around trying to find somebody all the time.
Yeah.
I really have a lot of confidence in this kid. So
Awesome. And we have a Zoom set up. So when we do go back to in person, we will also have the Zoom going. So
and he's all set up on Zoom. He knows how that works. So yeah, he's going to be a great resource. Our ages are reversed. I'm 72. He's 27. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah. Still no Will. I was rushing today too. I got to go to Seattle last night. My son is stationed in Okinawa and he came back to get his, he flies C-130, but he wants to fly jet. So he came back to the States for 3 weeks to get his jet certification. And he's flying back out through Seattle. So we got to go have dinner with him last night on his way through. So yes.
How cool.
Nice. It's very nice. So
wow. You didn't have to eat at the airport, did you, or at the base or?
Nope. He had enough time. He was staying overnight. So we got to go to a restaurant, sit down and just have a really nice long dinner and chit chat.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. It was fun.
I was actually born at Sandpoint Naval Air Station in Seattle.
Really?
Yeah. My dad was in the Navy.
My son is a Marine, but he's trained by the Navy, so he is technically naval aviator.
Aviation,
but he's a Marine.
Yeah, my dad was his title was naval aviation, but he was a tail end bomber, so he was fortunate to make it through. They didn't have much of a life expectancy.
Yeah. Okay. For some reason, Will doesn't have the logon info, so he's not here. Let's see. All right, it's sent.
There we go. We'll see him any second now.
Yep.
And you said Mr. Aguilar's all checked in, huh?
He is, yes.
Great. Is he by phone or Zoom, Lisa?
You know, he was on by phone originally, but now I'm seeing his name, so I'm not sure. Honestly.
Okay.
he might be video.
Yeah. I'll have to ask Will if he wants me to even bother going over his rights since it's going to be reduced. If he accepts that, might not have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There he is.
Okay.
Okay. We'll
There
get
we
in
go.
and situated, and then I'll bring Mr. Aguilar in.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm not sure why the video is not working.
Is your camera up?
Oh, you know what? I forget. They gave me this new camera that you have to turn on. So
There you
stupid.
go. There you are.
They gave me one I have to take the cap off of. I keep
Oh, that's even more complicated.
Well, unfortunately I had to get a new computer. So my nephew, I said, why don't you buy me some high quality peripherals? Unfortunately, he's a gamer. So I got this great big, huge curved 34-inch screen with a high definition camera and one of these hanging recording studio mics.
Oh,
And
wow.
I don't know how all this stuff works.
Confusing.
So what's happening, Your Honor, is I guess Mr. Aguilar is present and counsel, Mr. Duncanson has already told me he's going to move to reduce this to an infraction and dismiss the insurance ticket since this guy has everything taken care of. So I'm wondering if it's even necessary to go over his rights on the
No,
DWS third or not. Okay, great. Maybe we can just bring him on then whenever we're on the record.
just let him know what we're doing. You know.
Okay, great.
Looks like now he's gone.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, we'll hang out for a little bit. I got a 1 o'clock with DOL, but we got a few minutes. And you know what, Lisa, if that happens, let's, and you guys are still in session, pop me off an email and I'll come back on when I'm through with this phone hearing. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Okay.
It's usually about 15 to 20 minutes. So.
Sorry, I was on a few minutes late, everybody. I could not find that email that Lisa had sent before, and finally I found it.
Great.
Yeah, he was literally there when I pulled Will
Wow.
up.
Okay. Well,
Should have brought him in at the same time. Okay.
you gone?
Yeah, he's not coming back.
Okay. Well, we'll hang on till 1 o'clock, Lisa. And then, like I said, when I'm through with that phone hearing, I'll just, you can either send me an email or I'll just log back in and check with you.
Okay.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
here for a while, I think. So
Okay.
thanks, Pete.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so you want to start with the Tonkin case? I have both the attorney and the defendant.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
In fact, Lisa, what I'll do is I'll stay logged in and on mute while I do that phone hearing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like Will Penoyer here, judge, and I'm here today for an arraignment for Sean Tonkin. It looks like Mr. Tonkin has an attorney present.
For sure.
Okay.
And for the
So-
record, Your Honor, Robert Alt on behalf of Mr. Tonkin.
Great. Well, this is, a standard first appearance. I don't know if your attorney wants, I don't know if Mr. Alt, do you want to waive reading the information, advisement of rights and all that?
We would, Your Honor, we would waive formal filing of the amendment of the complaint, stipulate to probable cause for the purpose of this hearing alone and enter a plea and not guilty. Thank you.
Okay. And do you have any objection to standard pretrial release conditions in this case?
We do not, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'll be entering that, although I don't think there was any allegation of alcohol in here anywhere in the probable cause. So I don't really see any reason to impose the no bars, taverns, or lounges. Unless Mr. Duncanson thinks otherwise.
No, I'm fine with that.
If I may inquire, Mr. Alton, I don't want to go too far down this road, but I was a little puzzled when I was reading this. It seemed like there might have been a companion felony case in this case. Do you know about that?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I do not.
Okay.
I do not know about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just, I was somewhat surprised when I read the probable cause. I imagine you probably had the same reaction. Great. Well, since you pretty much waived everything, I'm not sure that there's a whole lot that we need to go over today. Entering a plea and not guilty, I assume.
Absolutely.
And I guess at this point, we just need to set dates. So, Mr. Alt, do you want to come back in 2 weeks, or would you rather have a month?
I would rather have a month if possible, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that all right with you, Mr. Duncanson?
That's fine by me.
Okay.
It'll be our May 26th.
May 26th, that work for everybody?
It does, Your Honor. Thank you. What time?
It'll be the same time.
Same exact situation.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will send notice to both of you on the Zoom login info. It'll be different for each case or for each hearing.
It's a
Okay.
new world, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
And I know, and since I've only been a judge in this world, I've been a judge now since last June, and it's been online the entire time. Kind of weird.
Cutting down on the mileage by all means, but yeah, it seems like a lot more work.
Of course, Mr. Alt, I'm only about 3 blocks away, but
Don't tell me that, Judge. I'm in King County, and traffic's a little different, so I'm jealous.
right. Well, we're glad you're able to appear. And
Okay.
so, am I missing anything, Mr. Duncanson? Anything I need to go over? I think we're pretty much standard stuff, but
Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward.
okay. In that case, then we will see you guys on May 26th.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, counsel.
Okay. Thank you, and we'll see you all in a bit.
You can leave now, Sean. I'll give you a call. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We have attorney for Muhammad Islam.
Okay.
We had attorney for Muhammad Islam. There he is.
Is that an infraction?
It is not. It is an arraignment.
No, I'm just not used to attorneys appearing on criminal matters here. So uncommon lately.
Mr. Islam is.
Mr. Islam. Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
All right. Is everybody ready to go on this?
So before we get too far into this, Mr. Gamby is an attorney in my office, so I believe I'm conflicted out of prosecuting.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right. Well, that being the case, then I guess we're going to have to find somebody to serve as prosecutor on this.
Would Mr. Arnold be a potential option?
I would certainly, it would be great if you could reach out to him and see if he would be willing to do it.
Sure.
Oh, I guess you can reach out quite easily to him. He's right there.
Is
Mr.
that-
Arnold, we've got a new case here, or newish anyway. Is this an arraignment status? It looks like.
It is, yes.
It's City versus Muhammad Islam. Mr. Duncanson, another guy in his firm is defending this, so he cannot appear. And we were just wondering if you'd be willing to be a sub prosecutor on it.
I don't object to that, Your Honor. I obviously have nothing to add today, but I'm open to help the
No
city
one
out.
would expect you to, Mr. Arnold. We do appreciate you helping us out here. So then this is first appearance. Mr. Gamby, I guess we'll leave it to you. Do you want to waive the usual stuff?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Yes, we have no issue with Mr. Arnold being the prosecutor. I believe this is on for a warrant quashing hearing. And I do want to point out to the court, I discussed this with Lisa earlier. My client does speak basic English, but and I believe for the warrant quashing purposes, I've explained it in enough detail for him to be fine. But going forward, I do believe we will need an interpreter. And I provided the information to the clerk.
Well, I appreciate you letting us know. Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
And she knows what language is needed?
Yes.
What language is it?
It is Bengali.
Bengali. Okay, great. Mr. Gamby, then I certainly am happy to quash the warrant. Your client has appeared, obviously. What would you prefer to hold off on doing the arraignment process until the next hearing?
You know, honestly, I think we could proceed with arraignment. He definitely understands the nature of the charges against him as well as his rights. He understands the maximum possible punishment. I am comfortable entering a plea of not guilty today, Your Honor.
Okay, and would that, I assume, come with waiving of formal advisement of rights and
yes, further, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I guess I'll just confirm, Mr. Islam?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what we were just saying there? Did you understand our conversation?
No, sir. I'm not understand totally.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I was wrong, Your Honor. We should just hold off then.
Okay, I guess what I'll just say, I'll try to keep this real basic then. Mr. Islam, you had a warrant out for your arrest for non-appearance. I'm going to get rid of that warrant since you're here today. Okay.
So, Your Honor, can I explain it to him? I'm his friend. I'm with him.
Sure. We'll have to have an interpreter in the future, but for the short term, we appreciate that.
আপনার নামে যে ওয়ারেন্ট ছিল সেটা আজকে বন্ধ করেছে বিকজ আপনি অ্যাপিয়ার করছেন আজকে কোটেশন ওকে
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার
Okay, great. Because he needs an interpreter, I don't think we are going to go over, entering pleas or any of that stuff today. I don't think that would be appropriate. I want to make sure everybody understands everything. So, assuming that Mr. Gamby, Mr. Arnold are available, we'll put this on for the next docket. Is that okay, Lisa, to put it on for the next docket?
Can we go out a month? There is no Bengali AOC certified interpreter, so I'm probably going to have to reach out maybe to another state.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, at least I guess at least we have remote appearances, so that's not quite as onerous as it once was.
Yeah. If you could go to May 26th, that'd be great. If that works.
So, Mr. Islam, in short, we have it's going to be a little bit challenging for us to find someone who's a court certified person who speaks Bengali and English. But we're going to go look for someone.
কোর্টের জন্য খুঁজতে আপনার দেরি হইব যারা কোর্ট সার্টিফাইড এজন্য ওনারা খুঁজতেছে
So, but be that as it may, we will be back here in a month on May 26th. And that will be continuing arraignment. Mr. Arnold, is that all right with you?
Yes, May 26th, it should be, Your Honor, yes.
Mr. Gamby, same?
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine. And
okay.
I will call Mr. Islam after this hearing to fill him in on what happened.
Right. I imagine his friend could probably pretty much explain what's going on.
Exactly.
I wish we could be more informal sometimes in these situations, but we got to be pretty cautious. So I appreciate everybody's appearances, and we will be back here on the 26th, same time.
Okay,
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, and how about we do Mr. Smith? That's Mr. Arnold's defense case.
Mr. Islam, you can log off now. You're done.
Okay.
Sorry if you wasn't clear.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay,
All right.
Hello?
Is this Steve Smith?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Mr. Smith. Will Penoyer, judge for the city of South Bend. And,
Okay.
your attorney is here. Mr. Duncanson is here, the prosecutor. And I'm now going to ask them to tell me what's going on with the case.
Okay.
Jeff, Killian, whoever.
Okay. Your Honor, we have submitted to the clerk a statement on defendant of plea of guilty to the allegation of disorderly conduct. And there is an agreed upon recommendation. I did go over the rights that Mr. Smith is waiving by entering into the statement on defendant of plea of guilty. And I believe the clerk made sure it was read to him as well when she provided him that document. I was only able to discuss it over the phone with him.
Okay.
So it appears he's had it discussed with him twice. So I believe he understands, but I am going to ask the court to go over it a third time just to be fully.
I believe I'm legally required to anyway.
Yeah.
When I take a plea. So, Mr. Duncanson.
Yeah, it is an agreed upon recommendation.
Mr. Duncanson, then I assume are you moving to amend?
Yes.
Because the underlying charge was assault, so.
Yeah, I move to amend to charge of disorderly conduct.
Fabulous. So I don't have the plea of guilty in front of me, but I've got a standard guilty plea form, so I think we can make this work. I will grant that motion and amend the charge of disorderly conduct pursuant to the parties' agreement. Mr. Smith, I'm just going to go through your rights again on the guilty plea. I know you've heard this a few times. Just appreciate you being patient. Bear with me and listen, okay?
Yep.
Okay, so Mr. Smith, Steve Smith is your true name, correct?
Yep.
And I believe, doing my basic math here, that you are 52 years old?
Yes, sir.
All right, and what level of school did you finish?
11.
Okay, and do you know what you're pleading guilty to today?
Yes, I do. Yep.
What charge is that, sir?
Misdemeanor?
Right, do you know what that misdemeanor is called?
No.
Okay, well, I'm being told that you're pleading to disorderly conduct. That is,
So that's what it is.
okay, that
Thing
sounds
like
right, sounds right to you?
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. So you understand that you're giving up certain rights when you plead guilty. You're giving up the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury in the city where the crime is alleged to have been committed, the right to remain silent before and during trial, and the right to refuse to testify against yourself, the right at trial to hear and question the witnesses who testify against you, the right at trial to testify and to have witnesses testify for you. Those witnesses can be made to appear at no expense to you. The right to be presumed innocent unless the charge is proven beyond a reasonable doubt or you enter a plea of guilty, and the right to appeal a finding of guilt after a trial. So do you understand that by pleading guilty, your right to appeal is limited? The maximum on this case would be 90 days in jail and $1,000 fine. I understand that there's a joint recommendation of the parties. If you can tell me what that is again.
350.
Okay, so can I articulate that? Am I right that the agreed recommendation is $1,000, $650 suspended, 90 days in jail, all suspended,
Yep.
and 12 months
And
probation?
350, yeah.
Does that sound right to everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is right, Your Honor.
Okay, and do you understand, Mr. Smith, that that's what they're both recommending, but I don't have to follow their recommendation as to sentence, and I can give you any sentence up to the maximum of 90 days and $1,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not likely to do that, but I do have the ability to do that. And if you're not a citizen of the United States, a plea of guilty to an offense punishable as a crime under state law may be grounds for deportation. I assume, let's see here, exclusion from admission to the United States or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. I'm just going to look here to see if there's any others that would apply to you in this case. Are there any protection orders or no contact orders being asked for in this matter, guys?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Since this was an underlying assault charge.
Yeah, I'm not asking for any, but I'm looking real quick to see if I can see if there's currently a no contact order in place or not.
Yeah, I don't recall. There was at least I have one in my file. It looks like I signed back in January that prohibited him from contact with Judith Bird.
Per Jabs, it doesn't look like there's a no contact order. Was that a no contact order or was that just a pretrial release?
It was a DV no contact order. I mean, maybe somehow it got lost in the shuffle, but I have it sitting here in my file. Regardless, if there is one, you know, I guess what I need to know is, has anyone talked to Miss Bird? Mr. Duncan? Huh?
I have.
You have? Did she make any representations to you about that?
No, she has moved out of the area. That was
Okay.
basically what her statement.
Okay, and so Mr. Duncan, you haven't spoken with her, but I'm hearing she's moved out of the area.
Yeah.
So if there is, Madam Clerk, do you know if there's an active no contact order in place or not? Can you see?
There was a pretrial, no contact order in place.
Right, okay. That's the one I thought I was looking at here. Okay, so given that we've resolved this and no one's asking for one, I guess that we're not gonna have a no contact order going forward after this. So I've gone through all those rights with you, Mr. Smith. At this time, what is your plea to the crime of disorderly conduct?
Guilty.
Okay, and you make this plea freely, voluntarily. No one's threatened any harm to you of any kind. No one's made any promises to you other than what's in the agreement.
Yes, sir.
And do you know can you tell me in your own words what it is that you were why you're charged with disorderly conduct, why you're guilty of that?
She said I yelled at her or something.
Okay, would you say it disturbed the peace? Would you say it disturbed the peace?
No, I think yelling at her. Yelling, I think.
Okay, would you agree that disturbed the peace? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's adequate for as far as the foundational elements of the crime. So I've reviewed this plea of guilty. I've also I don't have the actual plea of guilty, but we've gone through all the terms here. It all seems reasonable to me, and it sounds like Mr. Smith understands what he's doing. I will be happy to sign a judgment and sentence reflecting the terms that you folks have agreed to. I think that they are reasonable and fair and in the interest of justice. Mr. Smith will just need to make arrangements to make payments, and he'll just need to stay out of trouble for the next 12 months. You think you can manage that? Mr. Smith? Does that sound okay, Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa, you have a map, you have an address for him?
I do.
Okay.
Yes,
All right, I will sign the orders when presented to me.
all right, thank you.
And unless anybody had something else to add.
Well, one question. Do you want an order regarding the no contact order, Your Honor?
I don't know if we need one or not. If it's a pre-trial no contact order, doesn't it just go away once the case is resolved? Or do you need to have an actual one in the system? Would you prefer to have one as just in abundance of caution for your client, Mr. Arnold?
I normally that's what I do, but I will.
No, I don't know what I wasn't sure in that case if you needed to do that or not. I would have thought you wouldn't because it's pre-trial, but better safe than sorry.
Okay.
So I'll draft an order terminating the no contact order on Smith. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right.
But
anything else?
No, not for me.
Mr. Duncan, anything else?
Nope, nothing else.
Okay, in that case, thank you, everybody. Mr. Smith, good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Arnold, thanks for helping us out.
No problem. Have a good day, everyone.
So the order is showing in JIS, but not in JABS.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Well, I'll just
if
do
it
an
has
order.
something to do with their.
I'll just do an order terminating it. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
That's better safe than sorry, as they say,
Yeah.
right?
And then I have documentation.
Right. It seems silly that you would have to. I mean, I think you understand my reasoning here. Just because
I have it on record, so
if it's strictly a pretrial thing, then I don't know how, if the case is resolved, it should be still in effect, right? But
yeah,
but that doesn't mean that the court systems always pick up everything that way.
sure.
So we're gonna try to get Mr. Aguilar again. Is that the idea? I see.
Any word from him, Lisa?
He is here.
Great.
He's there. Great. Okay. Hello. Señor Aguilar,
Yes, yes.
¿me escucha bien?
Oh, yeah, I listen now because, sorry, my phone was in a speakerphone.
Okay. Sounds like you speak pretty good English. You want to talk to the judge in English?
Yeah, I need translator in Spanish, please. It's better for me.
Ok, déjame decirte lo que está pasando, ok?
Okay.
Puesto que ya arreglaste las placas y ya tienes seguranza, ellos van a borrar el ticket de seguranza y van a rebajar el otro a pura infracción con multa de 231 y el caso penal se va a quitar. ¿Está bien?
Oh, sí, ok, entonces tendría que pagar ¿cuánto nada más?
Ya, 231 de multa y el caso penal ya no existe, el ticket de seguranza ya no existe, ¿ok?
Ok, entonces es todo.
Ya, es todo, pero espérame un momento para decir al juez. So, Your Honor, I was able to communicate with him in Spanish. It sounds like he does pretty good in English, but I was able to pass along Mr. Duncanson's offer to him to get rid of the insurance ticket since he now has insurance, to reduce the other charge of failure to transfer title down to an infraction with a fine of $231. And he said that sounds really good to him and he'll take that deal.
Okay. I don't know if there's much else for me to put on the record then, since we've reduced this to an infraction. We don't have to go through all the rights. And
I still have to make the motions though, don't I? Formally.
Well, yeah, sure. Mr. Duncanson, I assume that you are moving the court to amend the charge to an infraction?
Yeah, so amend the failure to transfer title to expired tabs greater than 2 months, stipulate a penalty of 231, and then dismiss the insurance.
No insurance. The no insurance ticket dismiss?
Yep.
Sorry, I talked over you there. Okay, so I'm going to grant that motion to amend to expired tabs greater than 2 months. And I understand that there's an agreed fine. I'll agree with that fine as well. And I'll sign an order to that effect when presented, $231.
Ok, señor, entonces pura multa de $231, ya no existe el ticket de seguranza, ya no existe el caso penal. Hables con la secretaria para hacer arreglos para los pagos, ¿ok?
Ok, muy bien, muchas gracias.
Está bien, señor, ya te puedes colgar. Muchas gracias. So he's going to hang up, folks. Lisa, I told him to get in touch with you for payment arrangements. And it sounds like he speaks enough English to do that, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, folks, you all, if there's no other interpreter matters, you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Mr. Hinton, as always.
My pleasure. Take care, folks.
Great one.
One more attorney. We have Joseph Cutter in the Gordoik case.
Okay, that's an
I probably
infraction.
slaughtered that name.
And that he took them, and that
All right, Mr. Cutter, can you hear me?
I can, Your Honor. Good morning, or good afternoon, sorry.
Doesn't matter. I appreciate the gesture. Will Penoyer, judge for the city of South Bend. We are on here today. It's me here with Mr. Cutter, who's representing the defendant, and Mr. Killian Duncanson, representing the city of South Bend as prosecutor. I understand this is an infraction case. Gordiak, Natalia.
And that is true and correct, Your Honor. And for the record, Joseph Cutter on Ms. Galiuk, who's not present, we do request her presence be waived.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm going to guess that the parties have a resolution on this. Is that correct?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I did try to reach out, but it was a short notice with the city in this matter, Your Honor. And I know that the court's going. I believe we possibly could come to some kind of resolution. I just haven't had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Dunkelson. But
look, it's up to you guys. If you want to just talk for a minute, I don't care. But if you want to come back, that's fine too.
if Your Honor, I would prefer just if I could just have a brief minute with Mr. Dunkelson. I think we could probably maybe resolve it.
Do it off the record?
Whatever the corporal would allow, Your Honor.
I really don't care. If you guys, I mean, I imagine you guys can haggle pretty quickly. So go ahead and do it on the record. That's fine.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Dunkelson?
Yes.
Ball is in your court.
Yeah, I'm looking up the
history.
Yeah.
I probably have it here. Yeah, I have it here myself. There's a number of things, although
No real speeding.
I have it here if you, unless you have it already, I can rattle it off. Okay.
Would your client accept an amendment to a seatbelt at the same fine amount?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Then we would move to amend the speeding ticket to a failure to wear a seatbelt. Stipulated amount 139.
No objection, Mr. Cutter?
No objection to that, Your Honor.
Okay, so I will accept the grant, rather, the city's amendment to non-moving seatbelt violation. It sounds like there's a stipulated penalty of $139 that I will impose. And your client will just need to make arrangements to pay with the city. Madam Clerk, do you just send them out something, or?
Yes, I will mail a notice to both the attorney and the defendant.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Cutter and Mr. Duncanson. Thanks for being flexible here, and glad we got this resolved.
Absolutely, Your Honor. And thank you for the court's indulgence, as well as Mr. Dunkelson. Hope you have a wonderful day.
You have a good day too.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Per Killian, we want to start with the pretrials. Get
Yes,
those.
please.
Okay. So I have Christina Duncan. We'll start at the top of the list.
Hello?
Hi, is this Christina Duncan?
Yes, it is.
Hello, Miss Duncan. This is Will Penoyer, judge for the city of South Bend, and you are on for court today for a pretrial for no valid operator's license without ID. If memory serves, this was one where you were trying to get your license back. Mr. Duncanson, have you talked to Miss Duncan?
I have not.
Okay.
Not in weeks.
So this is one where I know where you waived, Miss Duncan, you waived an attorney and you were trying to get your license, right?
Yeah, I got it yesterday.
Did you?
Yes.
That's fabulous. Can we confirm that?
According to the ADR, it's still showing not licensed, but eligible, no fees, no restrictions, no endorsements. There's no reason she shouldn't have it.
Oh, did you go up there? Did you go and get it? I'm
I was
sorry.
just in there yesterday and they gave it to me.
Okay,
I
so
just couldn't get my ID because I didn't have a picture ID because I didn't have nothing to prove who I was. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Duncanson, what would you like to do?
I'd amend this to a noble with ID. $200.
Okay, Miss Duncan, what the prosecutor is proposing here is that he would amend the charge to an infraction instead of a criminal charge. Since it sounds like you basically got this taken care of, then the fine would be $200. What do you think about that?
That's fine.
That's fine?
Yes. I knew I was going to get it anyway.
Okay, well, if you're in agreement with that, then I will grant his motion to amend from a criminal charge down to NBOL 2. And based on your representation that it's agreed, I will impose a fine of $200. Ms. Duncan, good on you getting your license. I'm glad that you took care of that. And Madam Clerk, you'll send her information on how to make payments. So
yep, I will mail her the information.
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Duncanson, for sorting that out.
Yep.
Hey,
Hello?
You missed Duncan. You're done now. You can hang up.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
so I have one that I have not identified. I'm hoping it's one of our pre-trials because otherwise we have none of the rest of them on.
What's the number?
It is PCNLA_S88OP76.
Oh, of course. Well, we all know who that is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's Jed there. That's Jed, I think.
Says they're joining.
Great.
Doesn't show they're joining.
Well, we'll give them a second. I wonder if it's Miss Shine since we have paperwork on that.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Spent a lot of time at the office today trying to get Miss Shine in the door, so I hope she made it.
We don't have any other people?
Not for pre-trials.
Oh, okay. I thought, yeah, I know we had some other stuff.
Yeah, we've got several, looks like several bench warrant quashes.
Okay, well.
You've got mitigation, we've got 2 contested that are on.
Okay, well, since this one doesn't seem to be working, I guess, what would do you, either of you guys have any preferences or?
Well, I've only got 3 today. None of them are in the weight room other than the unidentified one.
Well, John, who did you think you had on today? You had Shine and who else?
Nazita Kianaper.
Yeah, that's a pre-trial. She's not in the waiting room apparently, or
No.
actually we don't know who that one is, but.
That's true. And it's possible that, you know, when her and I decided on the course of action today, it's possible I should have made clear to her that she still has to come to court today.
Right, that can sometimes throw people off. I can understand why.
And a Mr. I think Stapleton, who I have not spoken with.
Okay, well, Madam Clerk, since that doesn't seem to be working, I guess, can we go over to the contesteds maybe?
Sure.
Heckle, Howell, and Petrie.
Okay, we'll start with Mr. Heckle.
Okay.
Did you all receive the information that he wanted to submit?
From Mr. Heckle?
Yes, I emailed it all out to you guys.
I don't know. I don't, but I was out this morning, so let me look here.
I can send it again.
When did you send it? This morning?
No. It would have been Monday.
Oh, Monday. Okay, let me go back and look. Just looking through South Bend. I see that you sent the docket on Monday. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, which is not to say you didn't send it, but if you could resend it, that'd be great.
Sure.
All right. Is this Mr. Heckle that's on the line right now?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Hi, Mr. Heckle. Will Penoyer, judge for the city of South Bend. I am just waiting. I guess you sent in some information you wanted me to consider for the hearing, and I haven't seen it yet. but it is being sent to me. So I'll just go over a couple of the preliminaries here. We have you on for a contested hearing. You're charged with an infraction for, it looks like obscured license plate. That's what we're here for today?
Yes.
I see also there was a speeding ticket from 2000 from like January. That's not on today though?
No, that is, he requested a deferral on that, so that
Oh,
was
okay.
just
All right.
granted and mailed to him on
Okay,
Monday.
so we don't need to deal with that.
Nope.
Okay, and Mr. Heckel, is it my understanding that you deny that you deny this infraction entirely, that you had an obscured license plate? Is that correct?
That I too. Yes.
Okay, great. So I don't see anything in my email yet, Madam Clerk.
It did send.
I believe you. I'm wondering if it went to my junk mail or something weird like that.
It's not saying it kicked it back. I sent it to Killian also.
No, I
Again.
believe you.
Received it.
I just don't see it. It's odd that it hasn't shown up. Well,
It went to the @comcast.net one. I don't know if that's your main one or.
PenoyerLaw@comcast.net.
Yeah.
You forwarded it to me too?
Well, that's the one that Lisa had sent it to. She also sent it to your assistant as well, to Joy. So.
Okay, I believe you. Appreciate it. I'm going to pull up the statute too while we're waiting so that everybody's looking at the thing. Looking at the license plate display rules. Okay. Well, for some reason, this just isn't turning up in my email. And I'm sure that it will turn up in a second. So I wonder if we should just have Mr. Heckel hold on just another second so that I can actually get it in and look at it. And hate to make you wait, Mr. Heckel, but I just need to look this over and so I can give you a fair hearing, okay?
That's fine with me, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll call you back in a few minutes, okay?
That's fine with me.
Okay, thanks very much for your patience. I don't know why it's not showing up in here. You sent it on Monday to me and my assistant as well, you said.
I sent it again today, so just now, so.
Oh, I'm just looking through my email here. I don't understand. I just got stuff from Killian, so it's not as if I'm not getting things. You know what I mean?
You check your junk.
Yeah, I did.
That's all I got. Bye.
Yeah, this is at the extent of my troubleshooting ability. There it is. Okay, just well, tell you what, I guess why don't we take a 5-minute recess so I can get this organized and we're not just I'm just not sitting here muttering. And so can we just have a 5-minute break here and
Sure.
we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate your patience.
I have a new number that came on. I'm gonna bring them in and see who they are. Hello?
Hi, this is Babette Shine trying to get into court.
Perfect. Okay. As soon as the judge calls your case, I'll bring you back in, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Do you want
Sorry
to
about
bring?
that. This one was sort of hard to read through.
You want me to bring them back in?
Yeah, we might as well take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Duncanson? There you go. Okay.
Mr. Duncanson, did you want to have any input on this one? Well, I mean, I'll wait after, I mean, we can let Mr. Heckle speak first, but. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll ask you after we've gone through it. All right, Mr. Heckle, you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Thanks for your patience. I've reviewed what you sent in. I've reviewed the statute and I've reviewed the charging document. So what did you want to tell me?
Well, essentially, I was coming back into Washington State on Highway 101 northbound into South Bend. For the last 20 miles of that trip into South Bend, I had a Pacific County Sheriff's Department vehicle following me directly right behind me, never pulled me over for the obscured license plate. And when I informed the officer for the city of South Bend. He basically ignored that, and I said, "What am I?" He's handed me the ticket, and I said, "What is this? A ticket or a warning?" And that he said, "We don't give out warnings. We don't and that or fix-it tickets." And I said, "Well, I can pull that rack off the back of the van right now and stick it into the inside my vehicle." And he just said no. He said, "Here's your ticket." And when I looked at it and saw the fine was over $100, I went, "No, this is ridiculous." That would mean the same thing as if I came through South Bend and had a headlight out and, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't give out fix-it tickets. We only give out tickets." And that's why I was rather upset about the whole thing. But as you can see from the pictures, at the different angles, as well as from the dashboard of the vehicle, if you look at the Toyota Camry that's in the one picture next to my van, from the dash of that Toyota Camry is the shot directly behind my van. At that low angle, you can still see my license plate. It has not been obscured. And that's my proof.
Okay, thank you. So I've reviewed all this, and the legal standard in these cases is preponderance of the evidence. Okay. So it's just, is it more likely or more likely not that there was an obscured license plate? The law is fairly basic. It just says it is unlawful to use holders, frames, or other materials that change, alter, or make a license plate or plates illegible. License plate frames may be used on license plates only if the frames do not obscure license tabs or identifying letters or numbers on the plates, and the plates can be plainly seen. It seems to me that there isn't a frame here. It seems like the only obscuring if there was obscuring, it would have come from this. I don't know what you call that thing.
It's a rack.
A rack. So I guess the rack may fall under the under the other materials. So as far as what I guess I would say is I want to make clear here, I don't think it matters whether or not a sheriff followed behind you or not. Either it's, the police don't always cite people for things, and they may or may not choose to do so or may not see things. What's relevant is whether or not it was obscured at the time that the gentleman pulled you over. I don't think that they're obligated to give warnings either. And I wasn't real thrilled with the uncooperative and aggravated aspect of it. You're certainly entitled to disagree, but I think a little more courtesy towards the law enforcement is appropriate. However, given all that in the totality, looking at these pictures and showing the different angles, I think that it's more likely than not that I think there's reasonable doubt here. I think it's reasonable, could go either way. I'm going to say that the preponderance slightly favors Mr. Heckle here, so I am not going to impose the ticket and I will dismiss it. But I just encourage him to be a little more courteous in the future. Mr. Heckle?
Yeah.
You have anything to add?
When you brought it up that the speeding ticket happened, I was upset at that because I had no way to prove that I wasn't speeding between the offset signs between the 30-mile-an-hour sign going southbound on 101 and the 40-mile-an-hour sign going northbound on 101 when I was going northbound on 101. So after this, the only way that I can prove what was going on speeding wise was to have a dash cam to show the court, what was going on. But because I don't have that, I just had to submit the statement for deference, and that this ticket would have nullified that deference, and that's kind of another reason why I was upset, because it would have enforced the other ticket.
Well, Mr. Heckel, as you can see, I ruled in your favor. I would just point, I don't think that our officers are liars or dishonest. I think there could be general misunderstanding here, but I did rule in your favor. So unless you have any questions, I think we're done.
No, I have no further questions. I thank you, Your Honor, and I appreciate your time and effort.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Okay, we have Ms. Shine on now.
All right, let's take care of that.
All right.
Hello?
Hello, Ms. Shine. Will Penoyer, Judge for the City of South Bend.
Hi. Nice to talk with you.
Nice to talk to you as well. You can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. We are on today for a pre-trial on your charge. You were charged with assault in the 4th degree domestic violence. It looks like the parties have reached an agreement wherein the charge is going to be amended to disorderly conduct, and that you're going to enter into a stipulated order of continuance for disorderly conduct.
Okay.
Do the parties agree that that's what's going on?
Yes.
we do.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just to explain it a little bit, Your Honor, we had agreed to the SOC of the assault 4 originally. The issue was apparently the assault 4 charge, even though it was under an SOC, was still going to negatively impact Ms. Shine's enrollment into drug court, which is why I agreed just amend it to a disorderly and do a SOC on that. So I had just crossed out assault 4 and wrote disorderly wherever it was mentioned in the SOC. Ms. Shine had already signed the SOC before I did that, so I think we'll need her assent on the record for that.
For what specifically?
Just the amendment for the changes to the SOC. I'm sure you see my handwritten strikes and additions. Those weren't there when she signed.
Okay. So did Ms. Shine, what the form that you signed had said assault 4 for the SOC, but they've changed it to disorderly conduct. I'm assuming you agree to that since it's in your favor.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, before I get into this, guys, the only other thing is I have a no contact order that was entered in this case as well. Does anyone talk to Ms. Shine's mother?
I have not talked to her mother. That is an interesting wrinkle. I forgot about it. There would be a pre-trial no contact order. I have heard her representation that it would behoove both parties to not have that no contact order in place, but I could understand if the court would prefer to hear that from the alleged victim personally.
Well, if I could hear from her that she wanted it dropped, that would be one thing, but I don't have anyone telling me in one way or the other.
I have not spoken with her either, so.
Okay. Well, I hate to just enter to get this done today and then leave a no contact order in place if it's not wanted. I mean, I hate to do this again, but I wonder, just for efficiency's sake, if we could get off for a couple minutes, and if you want to, Ms. Shine, do you have a number your mom could be reached at easily?
Yeah, I'm just not sure if she's going to be there, but I do.
Okay, she doesn't have a cell phone or something?
No. She's 74. She doesn't do that stuff. But I can give you her phone number.
Okay.
Her number is, sure.
It would be Mr. Duncanson. I guess you should make the call, right, as prosecutor?
Yeah, I'll give her a call as soon as I get the number.
Okay, what's the number?
It's 360-637-6810.
Okay. I'm going to mute myself real quick and make the call.
All right. That's great. John, Mr. Quittner, you have anything else besides this?
Yeah, I've got Ms. Kiana and apparently Mr. Stapleton.
Oh, okay. Well, rather than take a break, though, I'll just let Mr. Duncanson make his call. It shouldn't take very long.
I have 2 new numbers that I have not identified. I'm going to bring them in and try to identify. Hello,
Hi,
who am I speaking
good,
with?
good afternoon. Robert Peterson.
Okay,
And I have some recent I had some warrant too. I had some warrants that the police have talked to me a couple of times to take care of. But these South Bend tickets were from
Mr. Peterson,
Okay.
Mr.
Oh, yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Peterson, please just be quiet for a second. I'm trying to figure something out here. Do we have, okay, thank
he's
you.
not on the docket.
Yeah, it's, we don't have a charge yet, or a charge on his, yeah, I wondered about that. But does he have does he have warrants in our city for other matters?
I'd have to, I don't know. He's not on the docket, so I don't have files in front of me, so.
Okay, I mean, I just didn't know if it would be easy enough to look and see if he has warrants to quash. If it's not realistic, we can do it another time, but. Mr. Peterson, we're looking to see if there are warrants to quash.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry to put this on you, Madam Clerk. I just know sometimes it's hard to get Mr. Peterson on the phone. Mr. Duncanson, do you have any luck?
Yes, actually, she answered, and she is no longer wanting the no contact order.
Great, thank you. So as soon as we're just dealing with one little housekeeping issue here, and then we'll get everybody back on Shine.
Okay.
Mr. Peterson, what is your birth date?
January 31, 1971.
I'm not finding any
Okay.
in JIS, but like I said, they're messing with JIS and Odyssey right now, and we can't
Okay.
rely on the information.
All right, Mr. Peterson, can you give us an updated address? And we don't have any warrants right now that we can find, but can you give us an updated address, please?
Yes, sir. It's 524 Central Avenue, space number 39 at South Bend RV.
Right, in the RV park there.
Yes, South Bend.
I know where it is, but Mr. Peterson, do you have a PO box? Because nobody gets mail at their houses here.
Yeah, Raymond. Yes, Raymond General Delivery.
You check that mail?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I can check it and get a notice out to that general delivery. So check in a few days, and we'll bring you back to court, okay?
Yes, but could I have some time to talk to Mr. Quintner again? For some reason, after inpatient treatment in Spokane, that could be more. That could
Mr.
help
Peterson.
Me. Yes.
Mr. Peterson, you'll just have to call him. He's in court right now with us, but you can call him. Do you have his number?
Yes. When do you think my next court appointment will be scheduled for?
We're not sure yet.
Yeah, I'll have to mail it to you.
Okay.
And you have Mr. Quintner's phone number?
Yes, I think I do.
Okay,
Yes, I have a friend just helped me recently look up his Ilwaco office phone number. Yes.
Okay, I can give it to you right now if you have a pen, buddy.
Okay. I think I got it. I'll write it down. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I got it in.
All right, here we go. 360-642. 3139.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Peterson, thank you, and you'll be hearing from us, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Okay. Bye.
I think the last time he was picked up, the warrants were served.
Okay,
So that's why they're not
I
showing
understand.
open.
I understand.
Okay, so one more that I have to identify. Hello?
Hello?
Who am I talking to?
Hello. Jacob Stapleton?
Mr. Stapleton?
Yes.
Okay. He is one of our pre-trials. We want to hear that right now.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Quittner?
I'm here, young lady.
Okay.
All right, okay. This is Stapleton.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Stapleton, my name is Will Penoyer. I'm the judge for the city of South Bend, and we have you on today for court for, I'm just trying to find you in here. It looks like a DWLS 3, driving while license suspended 3, pre-trial. I'm going to now ask your attorney to advise me what's going on with your case.
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Stapleton can correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a pretty crazy week or two, but I don't believe that I've had a chance to speak with him yet.
Mr. Stapleton, have you talked to your lawyer yet?
No, not whatsoever.
Okay.
I don't think I had his number or anything to contact him.
Okay, well, we can sort that out. Mr. Stapleton, I guess we'll have to set this over for the next court date so you can talk to your lawyer.
Okay.
But Mr. Quittner's number is 360. Well, do you have a pen? Are you writing?
Yes. Just a moment. All right, I'm ready.
360 642
360. 612.
642
Oh, 642.
3139.
3139.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to be on court again, same time, same thing through Zoom, but on May 12th. And give Mr. Quittner a call tomorrow or Friday, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. So I have contestants.
Are
Go
we
back
not
to
going to
the-
finish up, Ms. Shine?
Oh, are we ready?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Shine, are you on the phone?
Yes, I am.
All right, so we already kind of got to start on this. So what we got here is we've amended the charge to disorderly conduct. I grant that motion, and you're entering into a stipulated order of continuance. That's really not between you and me. It's between you and the prosecutor. It's an agreement with the prosecutor, basically, that you're going to waive your right to a speedy trial for 12 months and agree to pay a fine. And
Okay.
that if, and you would also admit that if you violate this somehow by having a new criminal charge or not paying the fine, then you basically admit all the police reports, and I most likely would find you guilty of disorderly conduct.
Yes,
There will-
absolutely.
There'll
Sorry.
be no restraining order and between you and your mother, and you'll pay 300. It says a $30 booking fee. Does that mean $50, guys?
Probably.
Usually it's $50, so I'm gonna change that to $50. So it'll be $350 total. You can make payments on that, and the clerk will send you information on how to make payments.
You need a
Otherwise,
good mailing address.
can you give her a good mailing address?
Yeah, 1365 South Bend, PO Box 1365, and then South Bend 98586. So you said the restraining order is lifted?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear. Okay, anything else?
I think that's our line.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care who says anything else, but I don't have anything else. I will have to do an order lifting that restraining order.
I'll draft it if you would like, Your Honor.
That'd be great. If you can send that over to me, I'll sign it as soon as I get it. And otherwise, Miss Shine, I think we're good to go. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Should I have the prosecutor's phone number for any reason?
I don't think you need to, but he's in the phone book if you ever had to call him for some reason.
Okay, good idea, good idea. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Have a good day, Miss.
Okay, thanks, bye-bye.
All right. What do you guys have left?
Okay, I've got Ms. Kiana Per, and I feel pretty certain she's not showing today. And so, you know, if the court would call that case, I would just ask to note her non-appearance for purposes of speedy trial. All we were going to do today was try to get a speedy trial waiver signed, so it accomplishes the same purpose.
All right, City of South Bend versus Nazita Kianaper. She's on for pretrial for DWLS 3. She has not appeared through our Zoom process. I am not going to issue a warrant. She's appeared before, but I will note her non-appearance for the purposes of striking any speedy trial times that will reset when she appears again. And I guess we will just put her on for the next docket, Mr. Quittner.
Yes, that is what we wanted to happen in the first place.
Okay. Well, next time, just make sure she shows up.
I will do that.
Okay.
Right,
Great.
thank you. That's all I've got today.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Quittner.
Thank you.
Mr. Duncan, you have anything that's a priority for you, or?
No, so I was actually going to ask if I could be excused from being here for the rest of the docket, as I have in-person court I need to get to at 2:30.
Unless we
have our contestants and arraignments.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be on for those. And, you know, unless, I mean, you know, I might issue some warrants, but I don't think you necessarily need to be around for that either. So, yeah. Being that as it may, then just make sure you get me all the paperwork that you got for me to sign, and good luck with everything else.
Yep, I'm good.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Okay, you want to do warrant quash, arraignments, or contesteds? Where do you want to start?
Sorry, I apologize. Give me a second here.
Sure.
I've got a couple of deadlines on other cases, and they're creeping up into my thought process. So warrants, quashes, contesteds, and mitigations, right?
And arraignments.
And arraignments. Let's do the contesteds. Get those done.
Okay, bring in Catherine Howell.
All right, Ms. Howell, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Great. Will Penoyer, judge for the city of South Bend. I have you on today for looks like a contested speeding ticket. Basically, we have you down for a contested. What that means is that you deny that you were speeding and that you're challenging the ticket. The alternative is a mitigation where you admit that you were speeding, but you're looking for a break on the fine or want to give an explanation. So just to clarify, are we in the contesting or mitigation area?
Yes, contesting.
Great. Okay. So what we have on these, it's pretty basic. It's preponderance of the evidence. So more likely than not is the legal standard. So I've looked at what the officers submitted, which is basically just a sworn statement stating that he used the speed measuring device and that he had you speeding in town. And you will have an opportunity now to tell me whatever you want me to consider, and then I'll make a decision.
Sure. So just to state the facts, I was going into town and going to Cape Disappointment to go camping, and it was dusk. When I was pulled over at that sign, that was the first speeding 30 sign that I saw. So as I was turning over, when I pulled over, that was literally the only sign that I saw that said 30. I have a Toyota RAV4, and it usually comes up and it gives me some blinking, and none of that had happened. And so it usually occurs when the sign or when the speed limit just changes, right? So all I really wanted to say is that sign was the first sign that I noticed for 30. I live in a very small town. I live in Coopville. And so that's the traffic or the speed limit changing. It changes, and it's very obvious where the speed changes. And I'm a social worker. I drive for a living, right? I drive all over town. The first offense is, I get put on probation. The second, I get fired for speeding tickets. So it's a big deal.
Okay, that's good for me to consider. Have you ever done a deferral before?
No.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I think I saw something about the deferral.
Okay, well, let me explain that to you because you may want to consider this. You're entitled to everybody gets one deferral every 7 years. Basically, if you ask to defer a ticket, as long as you don't have any other speeding tickets or, similar infractions within a year, it's dismissed at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to pay the fine amount, and then it goes away after a year. So do you have any interest in that? Tell you what, let me put it to you a different way. I'm looking at where you were pulled over, and I'm looking at what the signs, and I'm one of those things. I live here, and I know there is a sign before there that says 30 miles per hour. And I'm not accusing you of being dishonest. I suspect I probably wouldn't notice every sign in Coopville.
Yeah.
And I've been to Coopville. It's a lovely little community there, but I probably would miss it myself. I understand that completely. So I certainly understand your situation. I'm just wondering if you'd have any interest maybe in doing the deferral so as to try to keep this off your record.
Yeah, I'll be 100%. So I'm 48 years old. So I got this speeding ticket the week just prior. I got caught on I-5 going 5 miles over the speed.
Oh, I see that. I see that here. That's crazy. Up in Thurston County?
Right. So my luck was incredibly awful.
No, it's not very good luck.
No.
So what did you do with that ticket?
I went ahead and paid it because USAA, I think it'll go under the radar because it's 5 miles over the speed limit. So I think that one's going to be okay, but it's my job that I'm really worried about.
Well, I sympathize, and what I guess I'm getting at is that I'm wondering if you did the deferral, then you have the opportunity, like I said, to get it off your record.
Yeah. Well, I went ahead and paid it.
No, I'm talking about the South Bend ticket.
Oh, the South Bend. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I mean, I understand, you know.
Let me put it to you. I'm trying to, in all honesty, I'm probably going to have to find you guilty here. And I would rather give you the opportunity to not do that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
I've got to go preponderance of the evidence, and I am very sympathetic to your situation.
Okay.
We all
I hope
speed
that-
sometimes.
If this, Your Honor, if you think the deferral will be helpful, I will take that graciously. Thank you.
Okay. I just, unfortunately, I just don't hear enough here for me to find that you weren't speeding, just based on the legal standard. But I also sympathize with your situation, and I understand how the driving stuff worked. So I think we could do a deferral. Lisa, what would we need to do that?
A good mailing address. I will set up the deferral and mail it to her and give you a due date. It'll be due within 10 days the day you receive it. So once that's paid, then you will be all set. After a year, I will check your record. You don't have to do anything else. I will check your record, and if it's clear, it'll be dismissed. If there's violations, then it will be found committed.
Okay.
Hey, one thing, Madam Clerk, though, if the violation is 5 over, let me know. So I'll exercise my discretion to not violate her for that. That seems, I have yet to have anybody in front of me as a judge or a prosecutor here. I was the prosecutor before I became the judge. I've never seen someone for 5 over in here, ever.
I appreciate that. And
not only that, but it was on I-5. We're not talking about going through like a little neighborhood with kids running around here. I mean, it's just bizarre.
Yeah. And they're not doing anything like this. It's all, over. It's just,
Click. Yeah. And you're on Whidbey Island, right? Isn't that where that is? About midway up the island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful little place.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I appreciate you appearing. I'm glad that we were able to work something out that so we can probably keep this off your record. And I appreciate your honesty with the court.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Because of the timing, I just want to make sure, that I wanted to bring this to the attention to the court. Yeah.
Okay, so the one you're telling me that if you get 2 speeding tickets, that'll keep you from being able to drive?
Yeah, it's a big deal because we're on their insurance, so it's a.
Okay, so but this won't show up as a conviction, Madam Clerk. It shouldn't show up as a conviction, I wouldn't think, right? Because
not as long as she doesn't violate in the next 12 months. If she gets another moving violation in the next 12 months, then it would.
Between now and next April.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Correct.
And if something happens and you run into some sort of problem, might be a pain, but if there's some sort of crisis, you can apply to the court for us to look at it again. Okay. Probably won't have to, but I'm just saying. If you need to. Okay.
So for over 20 years, no problem. So I think this is a random thing. So.
Oh, I sympathize completely, ma'am, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, for your help with that.
And that address that I have, the PO box is perfect.
Okay.
Just to say it out loud, it's the PO box 1676 in Tucson.
So she'll send that to you there.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Thanks so much. Goodbye. We got one more, right?
Yep. Miss Petrie.
All right. Will Penoyer, Judge, City of South Bend. We are on the case for an infraction, I-21-27310, Tammy Petrie, failure to yield at a stop sign, it looks like, or failure to stop at a stop sign is the charge. Miss Petrie, you're muted. You need to make it so you can talk.
That's weird. Okay, there we are.
I can
Thank
hear
you.
you. Okay, I can hear you fine now. So Ms. Petrie, what I have here is that you had received an infraction ticket for failure to stop at a stop sign and that you are contesting that ticket. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you deny, and to be clear, because sometimes people are muddled about this a little, we have two different ways to approach these infractions. We have contested hearings and mitigation hearings, okay? I'll start with mitigation, since that's not a word we've used yet. Mitigation hearing is where someone comes in and says, yeah, I admit I committed the infraction, but it was an honest mistake, or there was something else going on, and ask the court to, lower the fine. The other one, contested, is basically saying, I didn't do this, I shouldn't have been cited with this, and I contested wholesale. So those are your options. After hearing that, would you say you're still contesting the ticket?
Is me contesting it and you ruling against me basically just saying I'm going to pay my full fee?
Well, I'm not trying to box you in here. What I'm saying is that if you contest it and I find with a preponderance of the evidence that it was committed, I probably would impose the whole fee unless you had something, you wanted me to consider.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's not a huge fine as it is. So it's,
No.
although I realize that it does impact people. So I guess what I'm getting at is, if you want to challenge the ticket, that is fine. And I will listen to whatever you have to say.
Yeah, I feel like I would like to contest it.
Fair enough. The legal standard is preponderance of the evidence, which means that more likely than not. In other words, I'm looking up what I have to compare is I've got a little sworn statement from the officer that says that you did not stop, and he signed it under penalty of perjury. And on the other hand, I'll have whatever you tell me, and then I just decide which is more likely, and it's can be pretty close sometimes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to let you go ahead and give me your sign.
Okay. I was driving. I came up to the corner of Kendrick and 101. I stopped. I looked right. I looked left. I saw no cars coming. I pulled out and he flipped a U-turn, not using his blinker, and then pulled me over.
Okay. So this is at Kendrick at 101. What, this is like right by the inn and where the inn and the jackpot are, right?
Yeah, and I've lived here my whole life. I've been driving in this town for, I've had my license for 17 years. And this is the first time I've ever been pulled over or given an infraction.
Right. No, it looks to me like you don't have any history.
My child was in the car,
So what he says here is that Petrie started at approximately 30 feet back from the stop sign at Kendrick and 101. You slowed the vehicle down, but did not come to a complete stop and then headed north, which would be right, I guess, there.
Yes. Yes, as he was heading downtown past me.
Right, I understand. So,
but my point into that is that how can he make an assumption or a distance assumption? He's going by me.
What do you mean a distance assumption?
Well, not what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, this is the first time I've ever had to deal with anything.
No, you're fine, ma'am. I'm whatever you want to. I'm not trying to pick on you.
I don't know how he could make a safe based assumption when he was driving past me. Do you understand? Do you see what I'm saying? How long was he looking at me to make this very specific number to understand that? I don't know. I'm very frustrated.
Okay, I understand, ma'am. So in my mind, the only thing I'm really ultimately interested in is not the 30 feet or not. I'm just reading to you what he says in his statement.
Yeah.
My only question is, did you come to a complete stop or didn't you? And
I believe I came to a complete stop.
Fair enough.
I do.
Okay.
So.
This is a close one. I don't think that you're lying to me. But of course, I don't think the officer's lying to me either. People can often be mistaken about things. It's a close call.
Okay.
I am going to say, I find by slight preponderance of the evidence that the officer, I believe that it was committed, but I understand that it was probably a pretty close call. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find it's committed, but I am going to reduce the fine down to
Okay.
$90.
Okay.
And I
right.
see you have a very good driving record.
I do. I try very hard to be very safe because there are a lot of people that aren't.
Ma'am, I would be shocked to see you in court again. And I'm sorry, but unfortunately, that's my judgment call based on what I've got before me. And I appreciate you putting your case forward, though.
Okay, thank you so very much. How would I just go about paying the fine? Just go online, or do I take it down to the city hall?
I'll mail you a notice that'll give you instructions.
Okay.
Do we have a good mailing address for you?
It
Did you
should
get your
be
notice?
yeah, PO Box 738.
Perfect. Okay, it'll mail to that address.
All righty, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ms. Petrie. I appreciate your participation, and I hope you have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
Okay, so we have two left. Both of them are warrant quash.
Those are such hard cases, those kind of cases
know.
where someone just says, I did stop or I didn't stop. I really struggle with that.
Yeah, it was, nice with the Perez case. We had video.
Yeah, or usually the person tells me something that gives me some indicia of, like I often have, one of the reasons I always go through the spiel about mitigations is that half the time the contestants really are mitigations in disguise.
Yeah.
You
And a
know?
lot of times I've talked them through it and they still want the contested. And then you explain it to them in exact words. And they want mitigation.
It's tricky, and I certainly don't think people should be penalized for choosing to contest the tickets. They
Nope.
deserve their day in court. So anyway,
Okay.
So what do we got left?
We got two bench warrant quashes left, Drake Dixon and Mike Minks. I'm gonna bring in Mr. Minks. He was on first. So. Hopefully we'll bring him on. Says he's joining. There he is.
Great.
Two bench warrant quashes left, Drake Dixon and Mike Minks.
Hello, Mr. Minks.
Hello,
Hi, can you hear me okay, sir?
I can.
Great. My name is Will Penoyer. I am the judge for the city of South Bend. And
Okay.
you're Michael Minks. It looks like I've got you on there was a dog at large charge and a warrant, you had not appeared, and so a warrant was issued, and you're here to quash that warrant, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I thought I had two charges. One was they're saying a theft of.
Oh, I'm sorry. There is a second case down here. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, one of them is leash required dog at large, and one of them is theft in the third degree. So you those are the two charges you have, and there was a warrant issued. You're here, obviously, so I'm going to quash those warrants.
Thank you.
Now, we are at arraignment status, sir. So I think at this point, what we should do is go through your advisement of rights. What I'm going to do is just go through the charges you have, advise you of your rights, and then at the end, I'll give you a chance to see what you want to do about an attorney. Usually, either you're going to ask for a public defender, hire your own attorney, or represent yourself. And then usually we enter a not guilty plea, and then we move on to the next hearing. Okay?
Okay.
That make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm just looking for your file here, Mr. Minks. There we are. Okay. So we are on today. As you said, these are 2019 cases. They're a couple years old. Do you still live in the area?
I do.
Okay. And let's see. One of the charges, it looks like, is theft of services, C6706, which I assume is okay. Looks like so it has to do with the water bill. And the other, it looks like the city is alleging that you took water that you did not pay for from the city in the value of $209.88. Then the dog ones, the dog license tickets, just looking here. Dog at large tickets. I'm just trying to figure out what code number they're issued under.
They are issued under the municipal code.
Okay. I just don't have, here we go. Here's the citations. What I'm trying to determine is whether or not these are charges, infractions, or misdemeanors, Mr. Minks. That's what I'm doing here.
Okay.
I can tell you that the theft in the third degree is a standard gross misdemeanor, which means that the maximum penalty on it is 364 days in jail or a $5,000 fine. That's the maximum, not what you're likely to actually get in the case. That's just the maximum. Animal nuisance. Now I've got to look up this municipal code here. And just give me a second here and I'm going to look. Okay. All right. Thank you there for your patience there. These animal nuisances, there's 2 charges of animal nuisance, I assume, for 2 different dogs. And those are both standard misdemeanors under the city code, which means they have the maximum of 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine on each. So those are the 3 things that you are being charged with. And I'm now going to go through the rights. You have the right to remain silent. That means you don't have to say anything about the case today or in the future. You have the right to be defended by a lawyer, have a lawyer present at hearings. You have, if you can't afford an attorney of your own, you have the right to have an attorney represent you as like a public defender. You have the right to have your guilt decided by a jury. A jury trial begins with you being presumed innocent, and the judge will tell the jury to consider you innocent until the prosecuting attorney has proven the case beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to be present when evidence is called and in front of the jury and to question any witnesses called against you. You have the right to have witnesses call and testify for you at no expense to you. You have the right to remain silent throughout the entire process, and the court will instruct a jury that they cannot use that silence against you in any way. You have the right to a speedy trial. Since you're out of jail, you have a right to a trial within 90 days from the date you enter a not guilty plea. If you were to be found guilty at trial, you could appeal the question up to the next court, but if you plead guilty, you would not be able to appeal. I've already went over the charges with you. I've reviewed the police reports and I have found probable cause for the charges to go forward. That does not mean that I found you guilty. It just simply means that I have found that there's enough facts alleged to support the crime if those facts were proven. Do you understand your rights so far?
I do.
Great. Understanding at this point, would you like to enter a not guilty plea at this time?
I would.
Okay. And were you planning to hire an attorney, or would you like the court to consider appointing an attorney?
Appoint me an attorney, please.
Great. I just have to inquire as to your financial status, make sure you qualify. Do you know what your monthly income is?
Right now it's 0.
Well, that seems like about as close to qualify, simple as it gets. Okay. All right. Well, I find that you do qualify then, sir. And we are going to appoint John Quittner as your attorney.
Okay.
So is John going to be here next docket, Madam Clerk? Is there, I know there was some docket soon where he wasn't going to be around.
Yes, and I believe it's the last docket in May. I believe he's going to be here on the 12th.
Okay, well, Mr. Minks, so what's going to happen now is we'll give you your contact information for your attorney, and that'll be mailed to you. What is your mailing address?
My mailing address is P.O. Box 683, South Bend, Washington 98586.
That's easy enough. Thank you. I'm gonna give you, do you have a pen handy, sir? I can give you his number
do.
too. Great.
I
I'll give
do.
you his name and number, okay?
Okay.
All
How do you
right.
spell his last name?
Q-U-I
Q-U-I.
T-T-N-E-R.
Well, I got that right the first time, except for one T. Okay, good.
Nice work, sir. So John Quitner and 360
Yep.
642
642
3139.
3139.
Yep, give him a call, and you will be back in court on the 12th. You'll appear the same way you're appearing today through the Zoom, okay?
The 12th of May.
You got it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Minks. We'll see you then.
All right, bye.
Bye.
How do I get out of here? I don't know how to end this.
I will.
She can cut you off. There you go.
And the last one we have is Mr. Dixon,
The last case or the last warrant quash?
the last case
Oh, okay.
that we have in the waiting room.
That's good because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to eat much lunch, so.
Me either. I drove in from Seattle this morning.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I bet that was kind of harrying.
Yes, I got to see my son though, so he's
That's
here from
pretty-
Okinawa, so
That's pretty important.
it was.
I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
This is Will Penoyer. I'm the judge for the city of South Bend. We're on the record here. Who is this?
My name is Drake Dixon, Dixon.
Okay, Mr. Dixon, I'm just looking on my docket here to find you. Okay. Okay. Looks like you're here to quash a warrant. Does that sound right to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dixon, and since it's also your first appearance on the case, we're going to go through your arraignment as well. So first off, Mr. Dixon, since you have appeared, I'm going to quash your warrant. So that'll be gone. As far as your case goes, it looks like you're charged with driving while license suspended in the 3rd degree. That is a standard misdemeanor, meaning the maximum penalty on it is 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. That is the maximum, not what you're actually likely to get. I'm going to go through your rights now. You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything about this offense today or in the future. You have the right to be defended by a lawyer. If you cannot afford an attorney of your own, one will be appointed for you at no cost to you. You have the right to have your guilt decided by a jury with a presumption of you being a presumption of innocence throughout. And you do not have to speak at that trial. That silence cannot be held against you by the jury. You have the right to be present when evidence is being presented to the jury, and you can see here and question the witnesses called against you. You can call witnesses to testify for you, which can be brought to the court at no expense to you. You have the right to testify if you choose, but if you choose not to, it can't be held against you. You have the right to a speedy trial, in your case, within 90 days of the date you enter a not guilty plea, which will likely be today. If you are found guilty at a trial, you can appeal the question of guilt to an appeals court, but if you plead guilty, you lose your right to appeal. I've reviewed the probable cause, and I've found that there are facts sufficient in the report to support the charge of driving while license suspended in the 3rd degree. Doesn't mean that I found you guilty of the charge. It just means that there's enough in the police report for the case to go forward. So do you understand what you're charged with and what the maximum penalty is?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand your rights that I just read to you?
Yes, sir.
Great. At this point, were you planning on hiring an attorney, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
No, sir.
No, sir, what?
I will not be hiring an attorney. I do not need an attorney. No, sir.
You don't think that you need an attorney? Okay.
I do not believe so. No, sir.
Okay. Well, you know, it's certainly no penalty to you if you'd like to talk to the public defender, assuming you qualify. And we're not going to be able to resolve the case today anyway, because the prosecuting attorney is not on the docket any longer. So, I mean, you are going to have to come back again. And you sure you wouldn't want to consult with an attorney before the next court hearing?
You're saying I do have to come back again for court?
You will on this case because there's no one, I can't resolve the case for you without the prosecutor being here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, if I'm gonna have to come back, I might as well talk to somebody. Yeah,
That's what that's kind of what I figured.
preferably court appointed. Yeah.
Okay. I just need to make sure you qualify, sir. What do you know what your monthly income is?
I would say it's my solo income or mine and my wife's combined income.
Well, what's your solo income?
My solo income is going to be about $3,600 a month.
Okay. All right. And how many people do you support?
Just me and my wife.
Okay. So you don't really qualify for a public defender. And I can't make, and obviously I can't make you hire an attorney, you know?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to propose to you, sir. It's a fairly, you know, you've got a fairly mild charge here. What I would propose is that you enter a plea of not guilty, and that you contact the prosecuting attorney and see if you can work out a deal with him to resolve the case so that you'd be ready to go next hearing. How does that sound?
Sorry, just to clarify, you would suggest pleading not guilty and then contacting the attorney, the prosecuting attorney, like away from court and finding a middle ground or seeing if there is a middle ground. Is that correct?
You're exactly right, sir.
Yeah, I mean, no reason not to at least try, and then next court hearing, if I have to plead guilty, I have to plead guilty. So yeah,
all right.
and
look, I'm not
working stuff out.
Yes, and I want to be clear to you. I'm not telling you have to do anything. You can take this to trial if you want. You know, I mean, I'm not.
Yes, sir.
Might make sure we're clear on that. And the only other thing I'd tell you, please don't respond to this. I'm just going to tell you something, okay? And that is that if you were to obtain your license, the prosecutor will almost certainly give you a better deal, and the deal where it's knocked down to an infraction instead of a criminal charge.
For the record, he has already done that.
Oh, you got your license? Okay.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Then even better. So why don't you call the prosecutor and let him know that you got your license, and I'm pretty confident that you can work something out with him, okay?
Yes, sir. Now, should I get that from you, like the information to contact?
Yeah,
the
I'll give it to you right. I'll give you his
now.
name. Yeah, I'll give it to you right now, man.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Because I think that this should be pretty easy to wrap up. Right,
yeah, thank you, sir. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, his name is Killian, Killan. I guess it's IAN. And then his last name is Duncanson. Dunkenenson. And Killian's number is 360-533-2865.
Well, thank you so much for your help today.
No
I
problem.
appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hopefully we can get this wrapped up for you next time, sir. We'll see you back on May 12th, okay?
May 12th, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Anything else?
That is it. We have nobody else in the waiting room. We had 2 mitigations scheduled and several arraignments that apparently didn't appear.
Okay. Well, as far as the arraignments go, I guess we have to tackle those before we're done, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can be done. So we'll start with Matthew Garcia. He is charged with assault for and theft in the 3rd degree. He is not here today. It looks like this happened back in December of 2019. Not sure how it got back to us now, but at any rate, I have read the police report and I found that there's probable cause for the case to go forward. So at this time, I will issue a warrant of $1,500. The next case on my agenda for an arraignment is a Jonathan Lambert. And I understand Mr. Lambert has also not appeared.
Correct.
Right. Mr. Lambert is charged with, looks like in South Bend, DWLS 3 on April 4th, 2021. I have reviewed the police reports and I find that Mr. Lambert, I find that there's probable cause for the case to go forward. I will issue a warrant as to Mr. Lambert, but in the amount of $500. See, next we have an arraignment for Yolanda Newberg Martinez. Miss Newberg Martinez is charged with driving while license suspended in the 3rd degree and looks like also an infraction for driving the wrong way on a one-way street. Miss Martinez is not here today, correct, Madam Clerk?
Correct.
And she had notice of this hearing.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm going to issue a warrant on this case for $500. Let's see, we have a Jacob Rabbi. Mr. Rabbi is charged, he's got an arraignment on for a DUI from August of 2020. It looks like Mr. Rabbi has, did he have notice of this hearing, Madam Clerk?
He did. He was served on violators. So no, it was mailed to him on 4/12.
Okay,
It was returned to sender.
okay, which
So-
it hasn't come back.
It came back, the only address that we have for him,
Ooh,
because he's from Oregon.
I see. Okay,
So the only address we have was what was on the ticket, and it came back returned to sender. No
Okay.
mail receptacle, unable to
well,
forward.
given the seriousness of this charge, I'm going to issue, and he is not here and we don't have any way of contacting him. I'm going to issue a warrant of $5,000. Let's see, Mr. Tonkin appeared, and that's taken care of. Finally, we have a Cora Toe. She was also on for arraignment for a DWLS 3, which took place allegedly on April 22nd, 2021. I have reviewed the police report and I have found that there is probable cause in this case to go forward. Ms. Toe again is not here, Madam Clerk, and was notified of this hearing.
Correct.
Okay.
She was served on violator.
Then fine, I'm not fine, I'm sorry. I'll issue a warrant, $500. And do we have anybody else?
That is it.
Okay, Madam Clerk, I appreciate your help as always.
Thank you.
And we will move on.
Okay, have a good day.